Welcome simmers to another aircraft review on the channel. Despite the fact that there are already a number of reviews on the net, today we are going to do the things as usual way. With a tour of the aircraft, a tour of the cockpit, then we will look at the sound and animation, the flight model, the systems, the performance on Xbox, and the final conclusion. Is this add-on worth buying? But I think we all know already the answer. This is a new chapter in the review, where we are going to take a quick look at the description of the add-on and what the developer is offering us, and then we'll see whether what the add-on offers seems to be in line with the reality. Indian Fox Echo and Hitblur, and yes, we are going to have to say it every time. Remember, it was two companies that worked together to bring this project to life. In short, we have two F-14 models, the F-14A and the F-14B, with a total of 38 liveries. What? But that's not all, as the add-on also includes a brand new aircraft carrier, which you can see here in 4 different locations. The total price of the pack is quite staggering at only $35 or euros. According to the description, this is a study level fighter, which is rare enough to be worth mentioning. We will also be keeping a close eye on whether the complexity of the add-on is a hindrance and who this aircraft is aimed at. It's clear that a lot of work has gone into the aircraft graphics. I know that there are many of you who are far more expert than I am and will be able to spot every little flaw or mistake if there is one, but to be honest, the result that Indian Fox Echo and Hitblur are offering is very good to me. Whether it's the detail, the paintwork, the effects of wear on the fuselage or the landing gear, it's very well done and a real pleasure to look at. Unsurprisingly, after what we have seen on the exterior, we find ourselves in a cockpit that is extremely well cared for, very detailed and also very worn. It's exactly what you would expect from an aircraft that is almost 60 years old. But flying in a brand new F-14 can be nice too. Even up close, the textures are pretty clean, everything is consistent, and it clearly gives you the feeling of being in an F-14. Of course, you can switch between the front and the rear seats, and as usual, it's a shame that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 doesn't offer a shared cockpit. Imagine how excellent the experience would be for 2 people here. Who knows, maybe in the next Flight Simulator. I'm not sure why the mirrors are blurred, but that's just a small detail. And I think we can move on, the rendering is excellent. At the end of those 2 chapters regarding the exterior and the cockpit, I'm amazed to find the same feeling as in the PMDG planes. It looks like the same rendering technique is used for the details, and even without being in high resolution, the rendering is still excellent. As far as the sounds are concerned, there are 2 distinct parts for me. The sounds in the cockpit with Jester, which are excellent. Frankly, it's a success with an excellent immersion. However, if we focus on the sound of the engines and from the outside, this is clearly the weak point of the aircraft at the moment. It's safe to assume that an update will come along soon to rectify this. The animations are pretty good too. I love the animation of the canopy, which descends and engages in the safety mechanism as it moves forward. That's a very realistic detail. One really cool thing that some people might already know if you have the Messerschmitt by Flying Iron is the ejection of the seats. That's very funny. And yeah, it's really nice to add this kind of details. It doesn't have any function, but it is what gives that little extra touch of realism. As you might expect, I've never flown an F-14, so my impressions are based purely on what I know about other fighters in Flight Simulator. This F-14 is very responsive, it's very fast, it's heavy, and that's what you want it to be. I did find that the plane stalled more quickly in very tight turns, and it might be more realistic, I don't know. But in this chapter there is nothing really to complain, maybe apart from Jester, which tends to eject too quickly to my taste when you are having fun doing aerobatics or crazy flying. So yeah, don't forget to disarm his seat. This menu is an excellent idea for making the aircraft more accessible, despite the fact that the system simulation is quite advanced. The fact that you can interact with your RIO, which means, by the way, Radar Intercept Officer, like this, I think it's unprecedented in Microsoft Flight Simulator, to my knowledge. And the reverse is also possible if you slip into Jester's seat, so you can communicate with Cougar. As far as the systems are concerned, this is an F-14 through and through, so the fans of screens will have to go their own way, and you will have to learn to read all the instruments to figure out your speed, altitude, navigation, and so on. So if you want to get to grips with it, you will need to read the manual supplied by Indian Fox Echo and Hidblur. Honestly, hats off, because from what I know and what I've heard, despite the level of detail, there's nothing to report in this chapter. The plane is smooth and there's no frame rate issues. In conclusion, I think a little competition between two companies is very healthy for the market and beneficial, especially for us, the simmers. Hidblur comes from DCS with a huge amount of experience in the F-14, and it's clearly paying off here. This new F-14 is right up there with the best add-ons available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But be warned, no add-on is perfect. And as with every new release, there are still a few bugs to be sorted out. Indian Fox Echo posted a list of fixes this morning on their Facebook, and I'm sure it will be coming very soon. So is this F-14 fun to fly? Yes. Can you buy it with your eyes closed? Yes, you can. And thanks for watching this review of the Indian Fox Echo F-14, and see you soon on the channel. Bye bye.